Hello! How we doing, everyone? Welcome on in. Tiny Devil Games, Mothman Centaur, Poke John, Fin They Them, and K Hadao. Welcome in. It is so wonderful to see you all. How are you today? How is this lovely Thursday treating us all here? Or Friday, depending on where you are in the world. Mothman. Oh, shoot. Yeah, K Hadao, how you been? How's life been treating you? I want to build games today. And more than I want to, I need to. Must needs be that games are built today. Because Jackie's Jam, which we will be working on today, is ending in 2 days and 2 hours. That gives me exactly 2 days and 2 hours to get something working. And I have finally started working on it. If you will remember from our previous stream, pull this up. Bloop. Where is Chrome? Come on. There we go. If you'll remember from our previous stream, we were talking about maybe doing some sort of Overcooked style thing with alchemy and trying to feed some eldritch monster, and you were supposed to like prep the ingredients amongst a bunch of different alchemical reagents and bring them in. I spent like all night last night thinking about this and just not finding the game. I could not conceptualize how to make this interesting in any sort of way, other than just like being work. Certainly not within the time frame that I had and the capabilities that I have. So we pivoted, and I talked to WifeQuest and said, WifeQuest, I don't know what to do here, because it seems like this idea is just not gonna work. I don't know. I need your thoughts. And she said, what are some puzzle games that are simple that we could like adapt? And she mentioned Jenga. And I said, well, no, I can only really do 2D right now. I don't know how to do 3D yet. And I thought, well, wait, but like, what if we did like a 2D Jenga? Could that work? Could we do a 2D Jenga? And so the idea went from there and evolved into, you have your player. They're at the top of a tower. You need to Jenga pull the blocks out of this tower without them falling down into the gaping maw of a dragon or something down below. And every time a block falls and hits the bottom, the platform that everything stands on gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Check it out. So I've been working on it ever since last night, and in the morning today, finally have nearly everything functionality working. For some reason, the clicking and dragging is weird. Like, you have to grab it before it hits the darn platform. But it works. It works. So, obviously it's a little buggy, but that's fine. Finny them, I'm well. My friend that I've known for 6 years told me you've got man parts, right? Then you're a man. I'm okay holding together as a non-binary blob. Oh, Finn. Oh, that must be difficult. Wishing you the best. Wishing you can find some mental peace there. GameMaker 2D Fighter, me as well. I just thought of a game loop in my dreams. My wife said I was coding in my sleep. That's amazing, 2D Fighter. I remember when Hearthstone came out. I was watching a lot of Total Biscuit and Jesse and Krendor and everyone playing Hearthstone. And they would talk about board control all the time. And my wife told me one time in my sleep, I was saying, you need to get board control. It's a don't feed the beast game. Love it. Yes, it is. The beast is attempting to feed. Don't feed it, or else you die. So the plan is, eventually, when I kind of get stuff stable, there are some things I still need to build out. First off, we're gonna make this a whole lot bigger, right? In fact, why don't we go ahead and do that right now? We'll just do it. 1, sorry. Unlink 3. There we go. So, no. What are we doing here? There we go. Scaling everything in the room. So, what am I saying? Words, man, they're rough. So getting this platform bigger, having a giant pile of messy blocks over here. So it's not going to be a neat little Jenga tower, because I don't think that's really going to work, but a big chaotic mess of a pile I think will. With a bunch of different shapes of objects. So we're going to be playing around a lot with different collision shapes. We're going to do circles, capsules, convex, concaves, all sorts of weird things splintered all over the place. And then change our protagonist to, instead of being a square, to be some other lumpy sort of thing. So they kind of roll around unpredictably. So I'm looking forward to that. If we have extra time, which I kind of doubt we will, we might make some of the blocks a little bit bouncier. We might, introduce a little more chaos here and there. But as it is, this is just a cute little idea that isn't really anything necessarily. This is the least full product ready type sort of game I have built on the channel, and I think that's fine. I think that's very fine. I don't see a way to really extend this out beyond the jam. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. We're gonna go with it. So things that I need to do. First off, I need to figure out why, if I let this run. Oh, and you're not even seeing this. No. There we go. Okay. When I let this run and I let it sit for a while, the click and drag does not work. But if I run it, if I run it and grab it before it hits the ground, it works. So there's something funky going on. And now it works. Now it's all just fine. I can do this all day long. But when it's is it when it's under the dog? Is the dog preventing? No. See, and that time it worked? I don't know. There's a weird bug there. It's now I can't drag. Can't do it. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna let it sit for a few seconds. I don't know, man. What is usually the consensus for reusing portions of previous game jams and new game jams? Using Fox as an example, what if their dropping and combo scheme was used as the mechanic for this Feed the Beast jam? Yeah, referring to Overload? Yeah, for sure. So, it depends on the jam. Every jam is going to have different rules. This one specifically says, in the rules, you can use asset packs as long as you have the rights to them, but games that are or were made before the jam are either disqualified or need to be remade on the time of the event with the relevance of the theme. You can use any asset, including fonts, from the internet as long as you have the correct license for it, etc., etc. So, really, it sounds like I would need to rebuild it if I wanted to repurpose Overload for this, which I think is perfectly reasonable. Frankly, the spirit of game jams, in my opinion, is learning, and you don't learn as much, or rather, I don't know. It's a tricky situation. In my opinion, for jams, in an ideal scenario, everything gets made from scratch. Although it is tricky. Because it's well, then do you make your engine from scratch? There's a lot of directions you can take it. But in my opinion, the general rule of thumb is if you can build it, you should during a game jam. Unless the game jam is specifically hey, revisit an old project and tune it up. Or if it's, here's an asset pack, go build something with it. That's just my opinion. Didn't know if it was taboo. Yeah, I mean, that's very fair, Mothman. I think it's all just depending on the jam and the culture. Finn, I've had an idea for a game that uses the accelerometer in the device I work on to make a game where your steps travel over into the game like a Pokemon Go game. Great, but a visual novel. So I'm using an upcoming game jam to make that idea. That's awesome, Finn. We had someone hanging out here during the Pirate Software Jam that was doing a lot of visual novel stuff. I forget their name. Shoot. And I'm looking on Discord because I know they were in Discord at least at one point. Kyrian. It's Kyrian. Yeah, Kyrian over on the Discord. They did a game, visual novel, for the Pirate Software Game Jam. And they were interested in continuing to do a lot of visual novels, so that's super exciting. Hey, Blades of Doom, good to see ya. How are you, friend? How was your last stream? So some things like right there. I can't drag it anymore. It's so weird. I'm kind of curious. Hold on. I need to debug this because I'm curious, is the dog sitting on top of it what's breaking it? No, it is not what's breaking it. Okay. So is there like... Oh, man. Is there like a collision or something problem? This is very strange. Jam should be you stepping out of your comfort zone. Try things you're not used to. The point of themes is for you to create something that has not been made the next best thing. I agree, especially with that first part, 2D Fighter, that it's very much there to encourage trying something new. A long time ago in a previous life, when I was in charge of a web dev team, I instituted an award based off of what I heard from Google of a First Penguin Award, which was somebody tried something risky recently and tried to do something in an interesting way. And it may or may not have worked out, but we want to celebrate that creativity and that risk-taking in responsible ways. And it was awesome. I loved that. Is the problem that it's like in a half pixel? I kind of doubt it. Collision shape, position, block, position. Okay. Does look like our collision shape is a little bit off. Oh dear. Let's turn off snapping. Oh, snapping is on. Okay. Ah! Whoa! What all is going on here, game? What are you even snapping to? Oh, you're snapping the middle to those vertices. Oh, okay. But now I can't line things up. That's strange. That was a pretty rough snap. You go right here. Because this gives a collision shape to our rigid body, and this gives a shape to our area 2D. Is there a way we can simplify that? Do we even need the area 2D? Do we need the area 2D? Have I fixed this to the point where it is no longer needed? Because that would be great. That'd be really great. Go on block. Pick. You. Connect. Try it. Aha! It does work. Good. It doesn't seem to be bouncing anything, though. Cozy Pixel Games. Hello. Welcome in. Good to see ya. Welcome on in. Half of the Game Jam entries I play, I have no idea how it relates to the themes as K-Head out. It's rough. I mean, we even saw that in the Fox Hollow Jam on a lot of submissions, frankly. Was that, especially like the design principle didn't really get brought in, so we're trying to figure out ways to help encourage people to do that a little bit better. How's everyone here? Blades, we're doing great. Working on a game for Jackie's Game Jam where you will have your character at the top of the space here and a big Jenga tower of bricks, and you have to pull the bricks off. And if a brick falls down, then your platform gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Your objective is to get the dog, or the character, because it's not going to be this guy. This was made before the gem. It's a placeholder. But to get your character onto the platform without falling. So that's the submission I'm making. I'm going to try to make it, but I might have to change that idea if the theme is no visual novels. Shoot. That would be an interesting theme, Finn. Is who sleeping, Tiny Devil? This guy? This guy's definitely asleep. Thankfully. I hope to sleep sometime today. That would be great. Okay. So for some reason, removing that area 2D has, like, removed my rigid body 2D's ability to connect with these guys and to collide with things. And I don't know why. This is another thing about, like, the way that Godot works that I'm, like it's kind of responding, but definitely having struggles. Like, what is all that? Like, what is this reaction? And then it's like not colliding with the platform anymore. Jeez. Okay. Oh, the rigid bodies. Are the rigid bodies sleeping? I don't even know. How do you sleep? Is that a thing? Whoa. Sleeping. If true, the body will not move and will not calculate forces until woken up by another body. Oh. That's cool. Didn't know about that. Thanks, Tiny Devil. Appreciate that. Tiny Devil, I thought you built your stuff in GameMaker. Do you know Godot as well? I mean, you pulled out sleeping bodies, so, like, I'm assuming you've got some idea at least. Certainly better than I do. You know, lots of things. It's a very wizardly sort of answer. Okay. Can sleep. The body can enter sleep mode when there is no movement. What happens if I turn that off? Like, I don't really know what the implication of that is. Yeah, it looks like it's... In fact, it's even doing less now. Okay. Let's turn those back on and then see if that changes it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're kind of interacting again. So weird. Put the thing back, put the area 2D back. Okay. There we go. Yeah, see, like, now this is reacting closer to what I would expect, right? Gotta figure out how to make it not clip through the platform like that, but... Rigid bodies sleep to preserve performance when they're in a stable state, I believe. Okay. Alright. You can't sleep, so make your character sleep for you for a real 2D fighter. Blades, my knowledge is as vast as an ocean, but only as deep as a puddle. So your brain is like Skyrim. Got it. I feel you. I feel you, Blades. The amount of hobbies that I've picked up just long enough to spend a dumb amount of money on and then to abandon is bad. Oh. Oh, shoot. Okay. You get it. Oh, shoot. Okay. So do we need to like add area 2Ds to everything? Like, I don't know why that would be. Like, it feels weird since we then have to have like collision shapes for each of these things, which I don't love needing to do. Especially if we're going to be making like different shape types. I was kind of hoping to just do that in overrides, but if we can't do that, then I'm assuming we're just going to make child scenes and call that a day. All right, let's see what happens now. Oof, jeez. Oof. My brain is the opposite. It's as deep as an ocean. There you go, 2D Fighter. I'm jealous. Very jealous. Okay. So it doesn't seem to be fixing the problem. I mean, if I delete that, though, it's just going to yell at me, right? It's like, hey, this doesn't have a shape anymore. Whoa, Code Rad! Hello! Welcome in! How are you today? All of you who have come along with Code Rad, welcome in. So good to see you. We are working on a submission for Jackie's Game Jam, which you can find with the following command. Yeah, I'd love to hear how your stream is, but I know that you stream long and hard, so you feel free to go take a break. It's wonderful to see you in here, though. So the theme is Feed the Beast, or Alchemy, and we're kind of mostly going with Feed the Beast. You can't see the beast, but the beast is down here. And the objective of this game is basically Jenga. So your little character is going to be at the top of a big tower, and you're going to try to pull blocks away and get it so that the character can reach the platform. If they reach the platform, then you win. But every time a block falls into the beast, your platform gets smaller. So it gets harder and harder and harder and more unpredictable. So we're working on kind of the physics and getting the pulling and the dragging and everything all working correctly right now. That's kind of where we're at. So that tomorrow we can focus on the UX side of things, making everything feel good. And then the day after, bringing in some more visuals and submit. So that's where we're at. Welcome on in, everyone. Welcome in, Tranquil. Welcome in, Darkness Blade. Hey, Darkness Blade, I think I just followed you the other day. Yes, I sure did. Welcome in. So good to see you all. Yeah, I'd love to hear how everyone's doing. How are we all? All right. Whew. I'm a little higher energy than normal. Or not than normal. Normally, I am higher energy than this. Coming off of a big stomach flu bug over the weekend that swept through the whole family and staying up every night with this guy so my wife could get some rest. So I'm a little bit out of it. I apologize, but it is so good to have you all here. Maybe you'll get to see Loopy Joe. Ooh. Off-Grid Game Dev, hello, welcome in. How are you, friend? It's good to see you. How's your project going? Actually, I don't even know if I know the name of it. Off-Grid Life. Yes, how's Off-Grid Life going? Okay. So here's our main problem. I'm doing too much all at once. Let's refocus on one problem at a time. The first problem is our node is no longer draggable when it hits the platform. If it hits it at the start of the match, or at the start of the level. So now I can't drag it. But if I intercept it beforehand, then it works. Whoop! And it can drop, and it works. I also don't know why the gravity is so weirdly off and stuff sometimes, but yeah, weird. So that makes me think something about the start is like making it intersect with the platform. That's my guess. No. Okay. So it's not that. It's going very good. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. You deserve to have it going good. Okay, so that one, that's the other thing. It's like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So what is the problem here? We've got our debug. You can see that in the bottom left. And that worked. What, did I just fix it by randomly moving it around? That would be nice. Okay, there we go. Now it's not working. And now it's not recognizing our input. We're not getting true anymore. Okay. Dragging is not getting set. So let's jump into a breakpoint here and kind of see where this code is taking us. Okay, so hover. Okay. So it's reading the hover, just not the click. It's not recognizing the click. How bizarre. Huh. In fact, it's recognizing the hover way too far. I guess we're never setting hover to false, are we? So I bet if we remote in here and we show block, where's hover? Oh, it's off. Huh. Okay, so I guess input can also mean mouse movement, and that would be the problem. What happens when you drag it to the ground after catching it? It works. I'll show you. We have an ad starting in just a second, but I'll show you. See, it drops down, and it works just fine. In fact, it even like bounces into the platform a little bit when the gravity gets a little too intense and comes back up. Everything works just fine. Exactly as you'd expect. So I don't know what the problem is. We do have ads starting in just a minute. We'll go ahead and pause. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. So great to have you all in here. Welcome, welcome. Okay, welcome back. fix the camera real quick. Oh dear, that broke. Okay. All right. We'll amend the invisibility cloak. Okay. All right. Let's try that. Man. Sometimes, you know, just the invisibility cloak does not want to work that day. So there are some weird things going on here. So if I got the breakpoint on this dragging equals true, right? So anytime we are setting dragging, which would then allow our physics process to start setting our platform to our mouse position. If we set that breakpoint and I catch it, oops, and I catch it, there we go, it triggers. Works just fine. But if we let it go, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Bloop. Okay, let you drop. Now do it. There we go. Now it's not triggering. So just straight up the dragging is not getting affected. So we're going to print here. And I'm going to get rid of this guy down here so we can get something a little more intelligible. Hover plus string hover. Print. I wish there was... Maybe I should like set up as a part of like big project. I should set up some sort of global printing thing because I hate typing out print label plus string thing. Like it'd be great if I could just pass in a variable name to a function. I could just say print hover and it would say print : space plus hover. Action event, I guess. Event. Okay. Twitch is live on Twitch. Oh boy. What's going on? Hover is false. Ooh. Yeah, still false. But there, we got a true on hover. Now hover is true. And now it's working. Okay. So the hover flag isn't quite getting set correctly, which means this on area 2D mouse entered is our problem. Where for some reason, when it lands on the ground without the mouse cursor being there to catch it to start off with, it does not get set to true. So let's get rid of event so we can actually intelligently read this. And you can see, this is why it sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. Now, it's going to work. See? We've got a whole bunch of hover true now. Because my mouse cursor was in the way, so is it because the area is entering the mouse? Is it not detecting the mouse entering the area? It's detecting the area entering the mouse? Is that the problem? That would be weird. Because we're using the mouse entered function, emitted when the mouse pointer enters any of this object's shapes. Live from St. Jude. Oh, are they doing a live summit? Okay. I should probably follow them. So I'm unfamiliar with how these things tend to work. Is this going to be like a news announcement, or is it going to be more like a charity fundraiser for St. Jude? I'm curious. Okay. Just found the stream. All right. Well, there you go, Blades. So that's a weird dynamic. It is recording when the area enters the mouse, not when the mouse enters the area. How do we fix that? I don't even know how to go about, like, searching for this. This is a bizarre one. Let's see. Godot 4. Mouse entered. Not working? A control may be consuming the input. It's not. There's no controls in the scene. Check collision object. Like an area 2D or kinematic body 2D has a mouse entered event, but a collision shape does not. Okay, it's not on the collision shape. It's on the area. So it should be fine. Ensure the button is not disabled in the inspector. Okay, you're wrong, AI. But I hear what you're saying. We don't have it disabled in any sort of way. You can have an audio bus on an area 2D? Huh. Area's auto bus overrides the default. Oh my. Huh. Well, that's something to learn about another time for sure. It's pickable. Pickable object can detect the mouse pointer entering and leaving. And if the mouse is inside it, report input events. Requires at least one collision layer to be set. We have at least one collision layer. Maybe the area keeps going? Oh, as in like the area falls through the floor? That's an interesting idea. Let's turn on visible collision shapes. It shouldn't happen. That's what this collision shape 2D is supposed to do, but let's see. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything falling through. Yeah. So that was a good idea. That was a good idea, Tranquil. Jack, how's the jam going? It's going very well, thank you. I have pivoted away from our alchemy, which you can see up above there, to a Feed the Beast, where it's going to be like a Jenga tower sort of thing, where you have all of your blocks up here and then your character up top, and you have to remove the blocks one by one and have the character not fall into the beast down below. And every time a block falls, the platform gets a little bit smaller. So if I nudge this one off, oh no, it got smaller and smaller again, right? So that's the idea. Area 2D doesn't stop collision. I'm unclear what you mean, Jack. Do a minigame where you feed a wolf. I think you should do a minigame where you feed a wolf, Blades. There's still 2 days left. At least I thought it didn't. So we've got a rigid body 2D with a collision shape, and then an area 2D with a collision shape. And I've tried to get rid of this area 2D, and if I do that, the dragging works, but then like nothing is colliding very well. It's not just like binary on-off not colliding, it's just like the collisions are now really funky. Me making anything in 2 days, that'll definitely not happen. You just gotta take the scope small enough. Just make a little character, walk over to a cliff, and then you just walk off the cliff and fall into a big monster mouth. That's your game jam submission. You could do that in 2 days. I'm not gonna say it's great, but like you could do it. Odd, isn't it odd, Jack? It's very odd. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Is trying to figure out okay, Jack, by the way, some troubleshooting we figured out. If the block falls and hits the platform, then hover never becomes true. Hover is just a signal based on the mouse entering the area 2D, signals into this script. Sets hover to true. And then if hover is true and you click, then you set dragging, which then moves it. And I'm sure this is all really weird, because I guess you could set hover to true. Well, we can make a signal where if you mouse out of it, then it acts as hover. Whatever, we'll do with that later. But the thing I want to talk about is if the mouse is placed right here, you can see now hover in our console over there. It works. So if the shape collides with the cursor, everything works fine. But if the cursor collides with the shape, it doesn't work. I got no clue. No clue what's happening there. I don't even know how to like search for this because it's such a bizarre problem. Also, gravity is like way off. The only way I'm going to make anything in 2 days is with Unity. Sure, Blades. Not gonna lie, I would not use Area 2D for mouse collision. Okay. I mean, okay, so I know that there's like control nodes, right? But isn't that for UI? That feels weird to like make these buttons just in order to hook into the thing, you know? Like if I add a control node, what would be appropriate? Oh. I mean, some sort of button, right? I mean, color rect wouldn't have a on-click event, right? Oh, it does have a mouse entered event though because of control. I mean, we could use mouse entered, but I don't think that's actually gonna like solve the problem though, right? Am I crazy? Shut up. Oh, right, because we got rid of the Area 2D. So like, that is now good, but now we're not colliding with things. And I don't know why. Doop. Yeah. It's just 2D. I'd mix them together, but whatever. You feel like I just don't want my collision to overlap. Try removing the collision maps from Area 2D. Just remove the collision shape from Area 2D, but then, like, doesn't it freak out and say, like, hey, I don't have a shape? Yeah, still not wanting to do. In fact, it's not working at all anymore. That's interesting. Okay. I'm gonna put mouse entered back on the color rect. Because that was at least like 100% of the time working. See, like now the hover actually functions. It's just the collisions are now really weird. You meant the mask. Oh. Oh, I see what you're saying. So remove the mask so that it's not like listening for any sort of connections. That's interesting. Interesting. Okay. Do you ever disable hover? Never disable hover at this point. Well, I mean, it starts off disabled, but we never like reset it to disabled. This is the entirety of the script for the game right now. And all of these comments are just old debug stuff. So it's weird that like I'm running into these problems with something so simple, you know? Also, what is this gravity? What is happening? I haven't changed any gravity settings, either on shapes or in the project settings. What happens if I like set gravity scale to -5? Is it gonna float? It is gonna float. If I set it to 0.25, is it gonna float slowly? Yeah. And it's like getting just slammed right back down. So it's not a matter of gravity speed even. It's just... I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Oh boy. Is it because we don't have the physics material? Absorbent. Oh, interesting. I think it's because you have a kinematic body. It doesn't like you setting the position of the object. Really? But, like, there has to be a way to be able to click and, like, okay, I've been going through click and drag tutorials all morning long in Godot, and it just, like, guys, this is a common thing in games. Like, we have to be able to click and drag things. You have to be able to click and drag something with physics enabled, right? Like, that's not that weird of an instance, right? Tiny Devil, I'd second that. Thank you. Like, it feels like the gravity gun in Half-Life, right? Like, stuff like that happens all the time in gaming. Like, how could there not be a click and drag with physics objects? All the click and drag I've done is super jank. Who are you seconding? No, he doesn't need to answer that, Tiny Devil. We all know you were seconding me. It's all good. Dang it, no! Seconding Jack Codes. Shoot. All right, put another tally up for Jack. Godot for draggable physics object. Godot, drag and drop with physics. Let's check this out.
Wix for my business because of its massive scope.
Browser, begone Chillfy, begone Wix.
Reddit asked a question the other day about how to do drag and drop with physics, and that got me thinking, how would you do that? So I've given it a mash. So I've set up a tiled map with the usual stuff, collisions on the walls and the floor, so we have some contrast. And then in my kinematic body setup, I've enabled this pickable option because you need that to make these input events work. And that's sort of the gist of it. So we go into these.
What was that?
Map with the usual stuff,
Yeah, you got your tile
collisions
map,
on the
that's
walls
fine,
and
whatever, sure. I still need to learn that in Godot, to be fair.
contrast. And then in my kinematic body setup, I've enabled this pickable option because you need that to make these input events work.
Sure.
That's sort of the gist of it.
Can you give me a demo of, like, what it is that you've done?
Distance over time. Look like this.
You're dragging.
Collisions.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Like
This is
that.
exactly what I
It's
want.
not following my mouse. Link to the further.
Let go. Let go of it. Let me see it drop.
dropping.
Let me see it drop. Oh, it's not going to drop. Okay.
Input event on.
So what is your code? What are you doing? If dragging, current position and mouse position, distance and direction, speed and velocity. Whoa. So he's using move and slide. Interesting. Move and slide. Okay. Interesting. So usually how it works is that you never set the position. You just use velocity and move and collide so it can handle collision properly. Okay. No set position of object. Just use pure velocity and forces. Okay. Remember the conversation about writing your own stuff versus using pre-built this. Immediately, if you were writing a physics engine from scratch, a 3-day jam might be a bit of a stretch. I mean, exactly, right? It's all about trade-offs, right? Listen. Some people, wow, that's really loud. Some people really enjoy writing everything from scratch. Other people, they're gonna do what they need to do to get the job done. Sure, you can write everything and have it be perfect if you're that good. And if you're that dedicated and have enough time. I am none of those things. So we're just going to do what we can in order to make it work. Because of how it works, if you try moving an object into another object by setting the position, it will definitely not work. Interesting. Okay. So I guess by setting position, it's like setting that before running any collision checks and stuff, right? And that's why velocities and move and slide and everything is important. Okay. Lovely jubbly. I've done a fair bit of writing stuff from scratch, and it's more to do it for fun than actually producing anything whatsoever. Jack. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what is he doing here? We get our current position, which is its own global position. And then he takes the distance of current position of the object. Yes, of the object. And then distance to mouse position. I didn't know distance 2 existed. That's cool. I like that. You just have to jump through the hoops to work with the inbuilt and maybe change the approach slightly. Okay. All right. You also become a better programmer doing certain things yourself. Yeah, I mean, whenever you get more reps in, you're always going to get better at doing something. Absolutely. So we can take our distance 2, and then we get a direction. And then we just find our speed as a float equals distance over delta. Okay, so that's saying like how fast it needs to move over this next delta time. And then velocity as a vector 2 equals direction times speed. Direction times speed. Okay. And then move and slide the velocity. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Okay. So if we do like our block position equals self dot global position. We don't even need self, we just do dot global position, right? And then we need to get our distance. Distance equals would it be block position dot distance 2, and that would be mouse pos. Hey, Simon, good to see ya. Jack, I tried writing a 3D graphics engine thing. While it may have worked, I doubt I could get Doom to run on it. It was going at an FPS while I was loading a single object. I'm going to assume that you're not saying it was running at some FPS, but rather it was running at 1 FPS. Should I make a new game or stick on track with current games? That's a great question, Simon Game Dev. What do you think? What would be the benefits of doing either one? What are your goals? Figure out what your goals are, and then align those with how to get to there, right? So if your goal is to just have fun doing game dev, go where it takes you. If your goal is to finish a project, don't start a new project. Unless there's a really good reason not to. Indeed, an FPS. You don't need to set the block position. It's true. We could just say global position. It's not like block position is saving us any keystrokes compared to global position. Sure, that's fair. Global position dot distance to mouse position. And then we have speed, which is our distance divided by delta. And then we have velocity, which is distance times speed. Yeah? And he's doing a lot of the strict typecasting, which I'm sure is like the good thing to do. But I'm just going to see if this works, and then if not, we'll go in and do the strict typecasting. So we do move and slide. Move and collide? Let's move and collide. Where's move and collide? Oh, okay. Why is that not in the... Jeez, okay. I still am really struggling to parse Godot's formatting. Moves the body along the vector motion in order to be the frame rate independent in node.physicprocess or node.process. Motion should be computed using delta. Sure. Which we're doing. Contains information about the collision when stopped or when touching another body along the motion. Okay. Okay. So we could potentially pass in velocity. May not have been an entire one. Windows forums, FPS, and VB, that is some serious effort. Well done. It's just like GameMaker's Move and Collide. Okay, so what's the difference between Move and Collide and Move and Slide? Yeah, cannot convert argument 1 from float to vector 2. Oh, because we have velocity as... Here we go. Vector 2. And this would be a vector 2. No, it wouldn't be. But mouse position would be. And then speed, I think, is supposed to be a float. Oops, I put a semicolon instead of a colon. There we go. Okay, still breaking. Okay, let's look at the example code and see where I'm going wrong. They return different stuff. Oh, jeez. Get the distance from the block position to the mouse position when you start dragging to get like an offset so it feels more polished. Get the distance from the block position to the mouse position when you start dragging. Isn't that what we're doing? Get the distance from the block position to the mouse position. Oh, and then set it as an offset. Okay, okay, I get what you're saying. No, I actually like that a lot. I was thinking I'd just change like the origin of it to be where the mouse was, but this maybe sounds better. I don't know. Offset equals let's just copy this. Offset. Bar offset. Okay. Okay. And then we need to incorporate that in here somewhere, and I recognize that. I haven't figured that out yet. You're losing direction when you convert from vectors to distance. Do that last. You have to get it working first. No distance needs to be raw global position. Raw global position. That's not what he does. That's not what this guy does. This guy does distance equals current position dot distance 2. Losing direction when you convert from vectors to distance. He has direction 2. Direction. Ah, okay. That's what I'm missing. Gotcha. Yep, okay. Direction equals current position dot distance to mouse position. And it's not current position, it is global position. And we're in ads. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. You may have noticed things are a little bit different. because I have been going through that code and being like, okay, what is it that I'm actually missing here? Because I'm getting distracted and not thinking through things very well. And I realized, okay, so we have our distance, which we use to calculate speed. And then we calculate direction. And we're not using distance 2, we're using direction 2. So distance, raw number. Direction, vector 2. Got it. So then we set our velocity equal to our vector 2, which gets scaled up by our speed value. And now we move and collide by velocity. And then if we let go, in fact, I think we can move that out of physics process so it runs less often. Yeah, I don't think we actually need that because we've got it down here. So let's check this out. Mission accomplished! So, I think it's working. All right. Jack, you may need to go take a rest, my friend. You sound like you have been having a bit of a rough day. Print. Let's do speed first. Ship it. It'll be a Bethesda classic. Print. Speed. No, direction. String direction. Print. Velocity. String velocity. It's a feature now, exploding blocks. So yeah, look at our speed. It's outrageous. Oh, it's because we're dividing by delta. Although that's what his example says. Distance divided by delta. But if we're dividing by delta, aren't we multiplying it by an insanely high number? Like... right? Like, I'm conceptualizing that right? Like, his is different. The tutorial is different. Okay. Okay. All right. Hold on, little guy. I got you. Get your pacifier back. There you go. Now you need to disable gravity while dragging. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. So dragging equals true, and then we need to do, I saw settings for this earlier. And it wouldn't be sleeping, right? Will not move and will not calculate forces. No, that's not what we want. We want, I guess we could do gravity scale? Let's try that. That block seems really heavy. Gravity scale equals 0. Let's try that. Yeah, I mean, it's not as responsive as I'd like, but I like that there is a little bit of lag, actually. I just don't want that much lag. Hey, Trickle Streams, thank you so much for the follow. Good to see you. And then when we set dragging to false, we need to set gravity scale back to 1. Let's try that out. Yeah, okay, that's working. Another thing is we're not like we're stopping instead of like acting on things. That's another thing we got to figure out. Multiply the speed by a constant or something. Sure, that's fair. I mean, certainly for game jam work, speed offset equals 3. Yeah, that's feeling better. We might want to tighten it up a little bit more, but okay. So what we've got move and collide is move and slide. Is that going to be the difference for us? Ooh, Move and slide not found in base self. Darn it. Is it because you can't move rigid body 2Ds? So, like, it would need to be, instead of a rigid body, it would need to be like a static body? Can't be moved by external forces. That's not really what we want either, though. We don't want character body. Didn't know you were doing Jackie Chan Jam. I was convinced to do it by chat yesterday, Foolbox. Welcome in. It's good to see ya. How are ya? Might be because you have rigid body. Yeah. Chat was me. You and 2D Fighter. Because you said do it, and then 2D Fighter said that if I did it, he would do it. So that's essentially the equivalent of a double dog dare. So you have to at that point. You're committed. New feature stuff? What? What kind of new feature stuff? Is this following the Captain Coder showcase? I did watch that. It seemed like a lot of the feedback was around kind of like level design and pacing and stuff. And you're in the Godot jam as well, 2D Fighter? Oh my goodness. Not using Godot. Oh, okay, right. Yeah, Jackie's jam, right? 2D physics body that's moved by physics simulation. So, like, what is move and slide? What has move and slide in it? Godot 4. Is it only character bodies? Where's the documentation? Move. Not Nikva. Move and slide. Yeah. It's in character body 2D. Move and slide is for like one thing. Sliding around the other. Okay. So the problem is move and collide is doing exactly what it's supposed to. Which is it collides and stops. But I need it to move the things that it runs into. So how do I do that? Partly, yeah, I added the capacity to click right and middle on button with different behavior. Did that to open the hint for the machine when you right click on them. Oh, okay. Like the tooltips and stuff? Do move and slide without the velocity in there. But then, like, how do we tell it how much to move? Also, move and slide isn't in rigid body, apparently. There is no move and slide in rigid body. Rigid body. It's true. Yeah. How to control a rigid body. Okay. This is what I'm looking for. Hopefully. Uses the rigid body's angular velocity property to rotate the body. Not for the tooltip, for the hint page that shows up. Oh, I guess I'm unfamiliar. I don't know what hint page you're referring to. But sounds good. Sounds like a great usage of progressive disclosure. Rigid body's behavior can be altered by setting its properties, such as mass and weight. Physics material needs to be added to the rigid body to adjust its friction and bounce, and set if it's absorbent and or rough. These properties can be set in the inspector or via code. See rigid body 3D and physics material for the full list of properties and their effects. If you only need to place a rigid body once, which I don't, a common mistake when implementing this kind of behavior is to use look at every frame, which breaks the physics simulation. Okay. You can't use set global transform or look at methods doesn't mean that you can't have full control over a rigid body. Instead, you can control it by using the integrated forces callback. In this method, you can add forces, apply impulses, or set the velocity in order to achieve any movement you desire. So, integrate forces callback. Integrate forces. Target position equals... Wow, this is deeply complex. Why is this so hard? People wanted right-click to open that when done on the machine. Okay. It's probably not a priority, but I wanted to refactor my custom button for a while, so it got me started. Well, there you go. There you go. Maybe try switching block to character body. That's kind of what it's looking like, isn't it? Or do that other weird stuff. Move and slide. But then, yeah, we're not, like, telling it to move. Oh, right, but we're extending rigid bodies still. So, character body 2D. Okay, and then gravity scale is not declared. But I mean, do we need it at that point? Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna be undoing everything in just like 2 seconds. Yeah. This is weird. I wouldn't expect this to be quite so hard. Didn't know you could change stuff like that. Also change other block. You'll need to add manual gravity. No, thank you. No, thank you. No manual gravity. Never again. I had enough of that on rescue. No. No manual physics calculations. Ever. Manual gravity isn't that bad, says you. Person who knows what they're doing. Curse of knowledge. Right there, that's what that looks like. Like, I'd love to just do what they're telling me to do, but I'm having a really rough time understanding what their script is actually doing. We're saying forward direction and target direction and local speed, and then if forward direction dot, I don't know what dot is. Is that a distance thing? 9.81 times vector 2 dot down. Queen Anne, hey, how's it going? Good to see ya. You insane non-imperialists. How dare you? 9.81, you bring that into my freedom chat? Foolbox, how dare you? Blades, you're gonna do it? Hey, that's super exciting. I can't wait to see what you put together. Thank you for letting me know. Keep the scope low. Don't worry about it really even being a game, would be my recommendation. I'm already making this too much of a game. I just spent 30 minutes optimizing code and made it twice as slow. Oh, off-grid, that's just the mood of development today. I'm right there with you. It's not my problem you guys jumped ship at the last minute. It's gonna be so basic and utilizing my basic art knowledge. Nice, very cool. Dot is math for how much they're pointing in the same direction. Okay. So it's like the... Oh, jeez. All right. Dot is great. Foolbox, you say that every time I bring up some new obscure math function. Like, every single time. Every single time some math gets mentioned, you're like, oh, I love that math. You were built for being an engineer, my friend. My goodness. I love math. It shows. It very much shows. And that is not a bad thing. If forward dir dot target dir. is greater than 1 e to the negative 4. We're bringing in scientific notation into here? What? Like, come on, Godot. If I'm learning how to use rigid body, you think I'm going to know what any of this stuff does? I don't even know what a rigid body is yet. Jeez. Just because Twitch thought I was writing a command. Oh my goodness. Wish I knew more, man. That's why I'm doing a degree in it, Jack. Yep, there you go. 2 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes remaining just to add the touch. Yeah, thanks, Tiny Devil. I'm gonna be like Sundown, make it in 4 hours for real. For real, for real. Huh. I'm really surprised this is as difficult as it is. Like, this feels overly complex, given the simplicity of what it is I'm trying to accomplish, right? Okay, well, we're not doing ragdolls. Although ragdolls on, like, a sprite could be interesting. Fortunes. Okay. And the thing is, this is also in 3D. And I'm not in 3D. I'm just using a rigid body 2D. So, like, I don't know, collision shapes 2D? Kinematic character? But these are for characters. We don't want a character, probably. Character body 2D. Okay. Okay. I'm remembering some stuff from my Godot course that I've been taking. I think we're going to do apply impulse. So it's a little wibbly, but that might be good. Is it going to collide? Kind of? A little? Hey? Higher education? Learning from the best books? Here we go. There you go. Easy game. Oh, Queen update from yesterday. Got that physics bug sorted out finally. Great timing, by the way. My character got stuck to a moving object and launched them both forwards. Turns out Godot considers objects platforms by default. So my character was snapping to the side of the platform and they both zoomed away. Oh, wow. So it was a matter of unchecking a few boxes. I'm thrilled the solution was that simple. That's great. All right. Take care, Foolbox. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. Okay. It's, the problem is, now it's, like, for everything. But, like, it works. So we just gotta make sure that, like, this dragging is getting set correctly. So we can, knock these all out. Also gives you knowledge of how to snap things to platforms in the future. Ooh, very cool. So you can make, like, a Frog type sort of game or something. That's cool. Or do a wall, or a platform cling and then pull yourself up. That's pretty cool. I've thought about how to actually build that. And I don't know. So that's rad. So... Man. Let's do print. Hover. String hover. Print. Dragging. string dragging. I'm kind of curious what's happening with all this. Nothing so far. Let's try again. Ah, because we're not entering this until... Gotcha, okay. Doot. Just bring these back out. There we go, let's try it again. Okay, hover is false, dragging is false. Hover is now true, dragging is false. Okay, we need to turn hover off. So we're going to go to our block, add a new signal, mouse exited, and then we'll just set hover to false. And I think that will be good enough because that will mean like hover gets turned off while it's still getting dragged around. But I think that's okay. True hover, false hover, true hover, dragging, and we're still dragging. Hover is false. Okay. Okay. Good. That fixed it. I can't click and drag it around. Good. Making progress. Jack, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. This is what I just did. I just built that in. Yeah. And I said I was going to get to it later. Guess what? Later was now. Clinging is in the cards using that menu. Very cool. Game Jam is happening already. You mentioned you wanted to earlier. How fleshed out is your idea so far? So the idea, Queen Anne, with the theme of Feed the Beast, your character is going to be at the top of this kind of Jenga tower type sort of mishmash of obstacles. And what your objective is to get the character down to the platform. Or maybe I'll put like a spaceship or something down here they're supposed to get to. I don't know, something. And then another game jam? Yes, Alex. This is Jackie's Jam. You can find that link here. So you will try and remove obstacles from the pathway. But every time an obstacle falls into the beast down below, the platform gets smaller. So if I knock this one off, you'll see... bloop, it gets a little smaller, and then if it flies off again, it gets a little smaller again. So the idea is this is going to be chock full of stuff, and then as it gets smaller and smaller, more things start falling off, and it kind of starts cascading down into a rapid failure state. So it's not like the most incredible game ever, but it's a neat idea, and I am having fun building it. So there you go. Thought I saw the platform thing shrinking when things fell. Very nice. Like that part. Thank you, Queen Anne. I was happy about that. I kept on trying to think with my wife yesterday, like, how do I make this into more of a game? And she said, just start building it. The ideas will come as you go. And she was right, because the whole, like, shrinking platform thing came today. Of just like, oh, when anything falls, you can just do that. That'd be nice. Okay. So now... I need to set up a couple more area 2Ds. I need to make a new base node, and this node is going to be our block removed check. And then we're going to have some area 2Ds. And all these are going to be, all they're going to be is saying, if it is dragged, cue free the shape. And if it's not dragged, ignore it. That's all it's going to be. Bloop, 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 bloop. And then, if we get, like, better... if I have enough time to do cool effects and stuff, which I really want to do. Block removed. Area. Then I want to do like cool particle effects on the side and stuff. Shrink that Put that right there so that they're equidistant, so the player can kind of like actually figure out what's happening. Go back to our block. We're going to transform this down a little bit. Oh, not the block, the platform. Platform. Trying to get used to keyboard shortcuts. There we go. That seems good. Okay. Very cool. So we've got that. Good. Oh. Do we need to increase the areas when the platform shrinks? Ooh. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is there. Platform. Scale. One. 2.8. Nope. Way too small. 2.9. 2.95. That looks about close enough. Yeah, that's close enough. Wish I could join, but my main objective is swords and spells. Absolutely, Alex. You got to get graduated, friend. Yeah. Get that thing done. Get that obvious ripoff of Heroes of Might and Magic built. Here's a bit of a finicky thing. Make sure that your area 2Ds and your collision shapes have the same middle. It'll help with performance. Oh, really, Queen Anne? That's interesting. I didn't know that. Your area 2Ds and your collision shapes have the same middle. Very interesting. I didn't know that. In fact, I think we can get rid of that on this platform now. Is that gonna work? We good? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Okay, cool. We'll say left and then right. Okay. Both of you need to hook into area entered. Right? No, body entered, because we're looking up a rigid body. And hook into block. Change that name. And then you can hook into the same thing. For block. Oh, come on. Pick. Oh, we got ads. We'll be right back. Has to do with how it calculates it, basically. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of take some guesses as to how that works, Queen Anne. Yeah, thank you for the heads up. All right, welcome back. Due to overwhelming amounts of goat news, it has been requested in our Discord to have a photos space for goats. So I have created a new category of random stuff, of food, pets, and memes. If there are other things you want to see in there, let me know. Also, Shadowbox Game Studios is hiring a mid-level technical programmer and designer in Unity networking and combat specialist fully remotely. If that's of interest to anyone. Let me grab the link real quick. Ooh, and remote game jobs. I haven't heard of this site before. Also, Restream just kicked me out. That's fun. Oh, Restream. Goodness gracious, I'm gonna have to like completely destroy chat and then bring it back. Refresh. No. Docs. Chat. Because like I do the Google authentication for Restream, which means I don't have a login and a password. But when I click to log in as me, it loads up a broken Google authentication page. It's just a blank screen. So hold on one second while I try and refix my chat here. You got it good Queen Anne. Because like I can see Twitch fairly well, but YouTube I will miss if I do not fix this. If only I was good at coding and had enough time. Man. Restream? Sometimes, man. Reset docs? I don't want to do that. Oh, I really don't want to do that. Because then I have to like re-get my Twitch activity and everything, and oh, that sounds like a mess. Come on, Restream. Alright. Maybe if I log in through their page, then it will, like, be able to carry me through. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it, Restream. Come on, little guy. Son of a biscuit. Oh, my goodness. My apologies, everyone. This is not the best thing to do in the middle of a stream. Let's see. How do I grab? Can I like manually, because it's working on the page. Give me like a widget that I can grab. Upload and stream videos, record video and audio. Events, video storage, teams, live shopping. I don't want any of these. I just want to see chat. That's all I want. Billing, payments, streaming setup. I mean, that's for like the plugin. My goodness. Okay. We're just gonna have to go the last few minutes without YouTube chat. I apologize. That is no good. I will try to like keep up to date with YouTube, but I'm gonna have to be bouncing between things. So, rethinking my life decisions right now, 2D Fighter. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll have to fix it after the stream. My apologies. Okay. Where were we? We are here. Oh, that's right. We need to build this function. So basically, if dragging Q free. That's pretty much all it needs to be. Oops. Let's see if that works. There we go. I wish I could, like, set it so that you have to drag the entire thing off. Like, if I could have an offset, right? Like, so that the entire width of this thing, if it is totally entered into, not slightly entered into, I want the whole thing. What is emitted when a shape 2D of the received body enters a shape of this area? I don't know what that means. I'm assuming a shape is a keyword I don't know about yet. You can totally do that, Queen Anne? Teach me your ways. How do I do this? Are they renamed? Oh, that's interesting. So the great thing I like and want to do, but is taking forever, I might make the game my normal way first to get the loop going, then turn it into a turn-based. Oh, 2D fighter. Very cool. Sounds great. You could add an extra area 2D over the platform and trigger when it leaves. And that would only trigger when the entire thing leaves. So entered is when one pixel enters it. Leaves is when everything is gone. Is that right? Oh, dear. Okay. That feels like a weird distinction. But, sure. Hey, Inspector Gadget. Good to see ya. How are you, friend? Instead of putting boundaries on where it will destroy, define a boundary where you want them to not be destroyed. Okay, so you and Jack are on the same page. If we've got both Queen Anne and Jack on the same page, then clearly it's doing right. So block, safe, area, sure. And then we will scale. Right like that. Okay. Okay. Cool. And so we'll disconnect here. And body exited. Unblock. Pick. Connect. And we'll change this name. On block pulled, we'll call it. Dragging. Body dot queue free, I guess. Probably don't really need that, but. Ooh, okay, that's not working. Get rid of body. Nope, that's also not working. Seems like I came right at the same time to see the mod do their work. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. How are you and the family? We're doing very well. We're finally recovering from the illness. Most of us are up and at full strength. Small lingering effects here and there, but we're doing all right. Little guy's been asleep the entire stream, which has been lovely. Then use the area exit signal. Yeah. Body exited. You got it. Okay, yeah, we did do that. Yep, okay. Do you want dragging? Take it out of dragging. Take it out of dragging? I don't know what you mean. Take it out of dragging. But we only want it to get destroyed this way if it's dragging. Otherwise, we want it to fall into the beast. Take you free out of if? No, I want it in the if, though, right? Your bodies aren't entering the area, so they can't exit technically. You'll need to start with the collision shape disabled and enable it once the objects... Jeez. Really? Okay. Well, I'm glad I've got professionals here. Okay. So I guess this is where we can do a script for the game and say, bring in block safe area. Don't know why you put it there. And then block safe area dot enabled. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the right property there. That's been my experience, at least. Might be a better way. I don't know about. I mean, that's a good thing to try and figure out. In fact, we can test it, right? Let's leave the area, enter it, and then exit. Yeah, looks like it's not. It's still not going, even with that. So print delete. Okay. So we're not getting the print. At all. Okay. It would be quote disabled equals false. Whoa, really? So block safe area dot disabled equals false, just like that. So, like flicker it off and on again. This is true JameGam related code. Okay. Invalid set index disabled on base area 2D with value of type bool. Interesting. Okay, I've definitely got that wrong then. Great. That's good. That probably means there's a better way to do it that I should do. No, we don't want you to be pickable. I don't think you need that for body exited, right? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. JameGam code, my favorite. I usually do set deferred disabled. What? What is Queen Anne? This is a new language. Are you writing in C#? Are you writing in your own language you custom built? What is going on here? Block safe area dot set deferred. Is that a thing? Set deferred. There you go. String name and then value. Oh, well, there you go. What is set deferred? Assigns value to the given property at the end of the current frame. Oh. This is equivalent to calling set through call deferred. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I'm sure there's a very good reason why that exists. I can kind of see it. Okay. I do have one, but this is not that. All right. Okay. So still we are not sorry, I need to do this before it slips my mind again. The beast. Blah, 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 blah. Get big. And centered. There we go. Just in case you, like, really send an object flying, it'll still, like, get caught. Okay. So let's go back to our function here. This is not triggering. OnBlock pulled is not triggering. Is it because... Yes. It's because I changed the name, isn't it? Let's fix that. Save. Body exited. Pick. Not process. Game. Pick. What? What? Oh, because we were in game, not block. Dang it. On block pulled. Connect. Okay, let's try that again. Hey, there we go. It's working. So we can throw that off, and then, but it does look like it's still doing the same thing. Well, maybe not. Okay. There you go. I'm going to write a quick note for myself here to juice this up. So, like, disable gravity, then fade out with sick particle effects, and then cue free once, you know, after 0.5 seconds or something. Okay. All right. But for now, this works just fine. Maybe because you changed. Yeah, okay, you guys got it. Oh. See, this is why I choose. I don't look at chat sometimes, is because, like, I want to prove not only to myself but everyone else that I can fix things. Because y'all are too smart and you're too fast. Boy, that felt weird. Yeah. That's weird, right? Like, I am definitely not outside of the space yet. Right? Like, that's definitely killing prematurely. It's because the block is falling while I'm holding in drag. So it is killing everything at that point. So that's not good. So I bet if I do this fast enough... No. So an object is leaving, and an object has dragging. So it's not checking this object's dragging. So we need to do, like, body dot dragging, right? And then that should specify it. Okay. Oh, you know what? Because I don't, I need to, like, delete all these extra blocks because they don't have the scripts on them. They don't have those variables and everything. So I think it's time that we save this as its own scene. As a block. And then we can duplicate. So we'll put one block over here, one block here, one block here, play. And then theoretically, we should be able to grab any of these. Good. Okay, that's good. Everything is working. If I drag one off, not deleting. Darn it. Broke it. Broke it. Are we hitting that? No. We're not calling it anymore. Is it because we made it its own scene? All right, it's because other block is leaving. You connect stuff weird. No, it's because something leaves area while you were dragging this object. No, you're so use the signal wrong. Jack, I can't follow up with all of your insults. I don't know what you're talking about anymore. The body dot dragging is not the blocks dragging here. Yeah, you're right. You're right, aren't you? Because this is... Yeah, what would even be getting past here? I mean, it would be passing in itself, right? But So if I get rid of that and then do this, it should get rid of everything, right? No. Don't click the link. Yeah. That sounds like a bad one to click into. You need to have a separate script where when an object leaves, it calls body on block pole. You need to have a separate script where when an object leaves, it calls body on block pole. Only for block 1 where the signal is connected. It's not connected in block 1 though. It's connected to the area. The area is connected to that. So there's no block 1 signal. What are you talking about, Jack? What am I not understanding? There's no signal connected. I mean, okay, I guess, unless what you're saying is this is connected to block.
Is everybody in the groove? Well, stick around.
Okay. So that's what you're saying, is that it's not connecting to, like, the parent scene. It's connecting specifically to block 1. Is that what you're saying? It's like, this shouldn't work? Yeah. Okay. That's annoying. So, I guess we're going to attach our own script to this. Of block safe area. We'll change this to scripts. And then we will disconnect all of these and then connect to itself. And then body dot on pull. Ooh, what was it called? This one, on block pulled. Let's try that. Okay, it's going in there. That's good. We need to get rid of that. But then maybe it is going to work. Area sends a signal to block 1. Yes, that's why it has a body parameter. Okay, yeah. Getting there. Remove param. Yeah. All right, thank you for the help. So that will just be able to fall off just fine. I can throw you out and you delete. Hey. I think we got it. I think that's it. Y'all. Hey. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. I think we got the functionality in. That's thrilling. That's so great. So now we can say for the player, bring you up here, and then let's open this up, and then I want to make like an inherited scene from block, and we're gonna make some different shapes. So now we can change this, like from a rectangle, we can now change it to like a capsule and kind of do something like this. Transform 90, good. Color rect. You are no longer a color rect. You are going to be firstly make the area responsible for queue freeing the blocks. You can connect the signal from the area to the area so it's nice and compact and have the function called queue free on the body. Okay, all right. Great. Let's put the anchor in the middle just in case. Oh, that's the anchor, not the yeah, never mind. Oops. What am I doing? Okay. Need to shrink you down. Place you in the middle. Let's bring you in front. Okay, there we go. And then extend out. And, well, you know what? Let's just kind of play around with this a little bit. Let's make some funky different shapes. So you are there, you're there, and then make you bigger, and then we're going to change our corners. Oh, come on. I know there's a rounded corner option. Is it in themes? No. What is the jam theme? Yes, thank you, Jack. It's alchemy or feed the beast. Yeah. You can find the link right there. Yeah, well, come on in. Lex Pertha, welcome in. Good to see you. It is a double theme. You can do either one or both. So, I know there's a way to do rounded corners. I've done this in the past. Rounded corners, Godot for texture rect. Not texture rect, color rect. I know there's a way to do this. What? For real? You can only do it on panels? That's not right. That's got to be old. Come on, I've done this before. Really? Color or panel? Can't round a color rect by itself? That's crazy. Why? Jiminy. I've done this before. Like, I don't know where, I don't know how. I know I've done it. Is it style box flat? Is that what I'm looking for? Yeah, there we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. And we'll hide the color rect. Okay. Great. Everything's at 23. Congratulations, you're at 23 now. Okay. There we go. I'll call that good. And this is capsule block. We do have ads starting in just a second, but we will pause for our last little stretch of time here. You can add a panel as a parent, round their borders, and set clip children to mask. No real reason if you can just use a panel. Wow, that's crazy, Cubus. I had no idea. Thank you for the tips. Okay, welcome back. Let's do some more goodly doodlies. I am working right now. I've got a new... I am working. Welcome. Just add a shader. Fortunes, that would require me to know how shaders work. Which I have yet to do. Just been using squares this entire time for no reason. All right, everyone. Jack learned something. Time for us all to go home. That's it. That's all we got to do. All right, we're going to hide this. We're going to add a new panel. I do need to learn what the difference is conceptually between a panel and a panel and a color rect. Because like it seems like a panel does everything that a color rect does, but better. But I'm sure that's not actually true. Let's see. Where did I do this? Capsule block. It's in theme overrides. Okay. So you have theme, and then you have theme overrides. How are you supposed to know the difference between... Grumpy old man, don't listen to me. Old man doesn't want to learn new things that are harder than they need to be. All right. Round circle block. Then I want to make like some oblong type sort of things, like a triangle. New inherited scene from the block. We're going to change our collision shape. You are now, instead of a rectangle, you are going to be a concave polygon shape, convex polygon shape. Let's do convex polygon shape. And polygon-based shapes are not meant to be used nor edited directly through the collision shape 2D node. Please use a collision polygon 2D node instead. Fair. But then, like, why can I make it? Maybe you can, like, load stuff in that you've already predefined somewhere else. But then also I still don't know why you're not using a polygon collision. I don't know. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, can I add a color rect in here and then clip it? Like if I just do this, is there a way that I can say show behind parent? The object draws behind its parent. I mean, that's probably not it. I would like to use the collision polygon as a mask. But I get the impression that's not the way you're supposed to do it. And I vaguely remember adding a color to a collision polygon in the past. Is it just polygon 2D? Do I just do that? So we'll copy paste and then change type to polygon 2D. There we go. Okay. Oh, but that color rect has the signal on it. So we're going to have to connect here. Ooh. Mouse entered, mouse exited. So that is lost now. Triangle block. And maybe we abandon the triangle block? We can use the panel at least on this one. God, all these names are such garbage. I'm sorry, everyone, that you have to see this. I know better than this now. I've been getting edumacated. I know how to do things better. But I'm not. Okay. Mouse entered, on mouse entered, and then mouse exited, on mouse exited. Okay. So now let's try and bring in these two. We'll Bring you in, bring you in. Play. To be fair, color recs I use only for post-processing. You're clearly far beyond where I am, Lex Partha. I can't even begin to parse that sentence. I vaguely know what post-processing is in the sense that it is something that you do like after everything. But yeah, clearly you're several parallel dimensions ahead of me. Adding a color to a collision shape is more for debugging than anything. See, like, people say that. But then, like, clearly you need it to have a color, right? All right, so we can do our big circle. Oh, came in like a wrecking ball. Okay. This is working. This is working. Oh, too heavy. Oh, there we go. Okay. And that's working. Okay. Hey, it's all working. Great. So then the triangle is kind of the only thing that's causing us problems. I don't suppose there's like a control node that I could finagle to be this specific shape. I'm gonna guess not. Okay, so maybe we just axe the triangle, which is a bummer, but, you know, whatever. So, block safe area, I'm gonna drag you all the way to the back. So I'm not selecting you, and then I can lock you. Yes, that's what I want. Collision shapes are invisible on export, though. See, this is the, like... This is the thing, right? I understand if you're doing big boy game dev, you're going to be, like, adding a sprite or something to it, right? But, like... Is there not also a space to just say, like, I want this shape to be red? Like, is that not a reasonable thing? It feels like a reasonable thing to me. And if we want that, then why are we going through the extra step of, like, I don't know. It feels dumb to me. Feels dumb to me. It's not to say that it is dumb. It just feels dumb to me. I understand that you maybe want that, like, separation of concerns, and then you have to add, like, an is visible flag or something. Like, okay, I can understand that. But my designer brain doesn't like it. Unless you ship your game in debug mode. You can use a button, add a triangle texture, and then add a black and white triangle click mask. See, that's what I'm looking for, Cubus, is, like, I at least want a way to be able to mask easily, and it sounds like there is a way that I just don't know. You can modulate canvas items in visibility tab. Modulate canvas items in visibility tab. Modulate. Oh, as in, like, change the tints and stuff? Yeah. In fact, that would probably be good to set up, like, an on-ready to modulate the hues and everything a little bit. It's probably a good idea. Give it a little bit of random visual interest. It's a pain if you need something quick. Yeah. Oh, and then there's self-modulate, right? So, okay. Yeah. We played around with this for Overload. The difference between modulate and self-modulate. Okay. Cool. Great. Look at us. Making progress. This is amazing. I think I'm going to make a new just base node, and this is going to be for the blocks. And boy, I'm hoping that's not going to break the script. Am I referencing anything in here? I don't think that I am. Okay. Perfect. I've clearly broken something. What have I broken? Nothing. It's all fine. Kind of. All right, we need to amp up that speed for sure. Bloop. Speed offset, let's take it up to like 30. 10x it. Oh, that actually feels a lot better. Oh, maybe not quite. All right, maybe not quite. What if we take it down to 10? Mostly I just want to, like, be able to, yeah, lift stuff that is underneath other things. And that looks like that's going to accomplish that. Okay. Polygon for visible shapes. Yeah, you can use copy over the collision points of a collision poly into a visible poly on ready or the other. You can use copy over the collision points of a collision poly. Yeah, okay. It just feels weird. Like, I can get it. It just feels like you should be able to just set it, though. You can define a polygon using code to match your collision shape and give it a red see-through color, but I see that's not exactly drag and drop. And, like, that's the thing that I run into so often with coding is, like, yeah, there are solutions, but they're, like, these kind of weird, obscure things that you kind of have to know how to do in order to know how to do it. They're not discoverable, right? And that's my big problem. When you drag an object, you might want to up mass and impulse so the object you're dragging has more weight. That's an interesting idea, Jack. I could see that. I spent some time taking pictures and a few videos of the farmhouse. Oh, lovely blades. I can't wait to see them. Okay. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. Welcome back. So, you can also just drag a polygon onto the screen and match its corners to be where your area is. But then that's the thing though, is like it's all very manual, right, Queen Anne? So if you want it to be an exact copy of the thing without any room for error, then you have to do this code replication thing. But it's like it feels really weird. Like I already have this shape. Why can't I just say this is what it looks like? You know, if you like, it's very contra standard patterns and stuff like Photoshop or Figma or whatever, where I can go in and I know it's not the same thing, right? Like I understand this is not the same thing, but like I have a box. I can just set it to be invisible if I want. Or I can change the color and like, look, there's a color, you know, like I don't know why this is, I mean, that's not true. I kind of know why this is so difficult, but I wish that there was a better way to do it. And I'm not convinced that there's not a better way to do it. Okay. All right. We have made so much good progress here, y'all. This is awesome. Look at all that we've done. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just kind of copy all these. And then we're going to start moving them around and making just kind of a weird shape. And then let's grab you. One second. Okay. Thank you, sweetie. I guess it's 2 steps where most programs would be 0 steps. Yeah, exactly. What am I trying to do? Change the color? Well, what we were trying to do is just like, I want this shape to have a color. And then we had to like, instead of just saying on this collision polygon, set the color, I have to make a new visual representation of the same thing that I've already defined. And I understand that there's like separation of concerns and all that sort of stuff, but it still feels weird that it's like that or at least that multi-step process is necessary. I think for pure 2D engines, that would be possible, but with the way 2D and control nodes work with viewport and screen, even in 3D, current implementation makes more sense, at least to me. Polygon 2D has color property. Polygon 2D does have color property, but what I'm saying is, like, I don't like that I have to make this polygon. I wish that I could just set a color up here and, like, have it contained within itself. And that's kind of why GameMaker made a bit more sense to me conceptually to start off with, is because, like, I'm accustomed to, you know, like Figma. I can make a square, and now all the attributes related to this square are over here, right? Whereas it feels like in traditional object-oriented programming, it's like we have the object, and then we have its GUI representation, and then we have like its behaviors, and like these like are different. Like the collision mask operates differently. Let me do this a little bit more clearly. The collision mask operates differently from the way that it is displayed, right? So this set of behavior is different from what comes into here, and it just feels really weird to me. I can understand that people like prefer it this way. It's just, this is my background, so this is why it breaks for me a little. Okay. In other programs, it's probably even worse. You can ship the game with debug mode enabled and set the debug shape color to be what you want. I mean, sure, but like that's definitely hacking the system, right? That's not an intention of the debug mode. It's not so much a shot at Godot because those two steps are unique and you might not want both. Yeah, sure. GameMaker is pure 2D, so it's due to that. Could be. Your collisions are separate because they're often not the same as the visual representation. I understand that they can be. I just don't like that it's not an option, you know? Like, I can get how, like, a sword swing and its, you know, arc effect is, you know, if you have this big arc, you're going to set up, like, rectangles, right? Like, I get that. But there are other times when I would really like to just have a simple option here. I love to hack the system. All right, take care, Cubus. Thanks for hanging out. Good to see ya. I know it's also annoying to do in Unity and would be very hard in Unreal. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, there we go. There's the right scene. Okay. Enough sidetracking on stuff. Let's wrap up here and get kind of a basic level looking thing. Okay. Woo. Whoa. Hey, we won. Yeah, so I think that's basically the game, frankly. I need to like come up with a level design that is a little bit scarier so that when you start moving things, stuff really starts moving around. But I think that's the basic functionality. Like, I think it's done. I think tomorrow can be like refining the experience and getting some beginning art, beginning sound effects and everything in, music. And then the last day can just be polish. Start bringing in like particle effects and any sort of tweening animations or anything. And then I think we just, we hit submit and build. So there we go. Everyone, thank you so much for your help today. I have learned a lot. Thank you so much. Your blocks no longer go away as they leave the area. Oh, sure they do. They do if I'm holding in the mouse cursor. If I just fling it, then they don't. Like, I'm going to let go of the mouse cursor. There you go. So, like, you just have to keep holding it in. So it would be good to have, like, some sort of visual signifier, right? Like, some sort of glowing outline around the block to say, like, hey, this is active. And then if you let go, the outline goes away, right? So that's a good point. That's a very good point. I should do that. The last day should be German, not Polish, says Giannis the Wanderer. I think the last day should be Botswani. Is that intended? It's not necessarily intended, Queen Anne, but it's also not intended. Because, like, you need to have a way for the game to be able to determine this is going to fall down into the beast or it's going to, like, be dispelled, right? I don't really know a way to do that other than hovering, other than, like, having some sort of, you know, collection area up here, which also feels weird to me. I don't know. So, my goodness, I have learned a ton. Everyone, thank you so much for your help and your support. We're going to go ahead and raid into Panda Coder, who is also working on Jackie Code's Game Jam. Great guy, very active on Twitch, very active participant in the community. How many days in this jam? There's 2 days left. 2 days left. It's not a bug, it's a feature. That's right. And Panda Coder is a staple of the community. I'm glad we get to raid into him. It's going to be great. Stick around. He's a much better coder than I am. We'll see you in just a minute.